Hi, welcome once more to Mr. Max. In this lesson, we are going to revise from September 2019 Eastern Cape Graphs and Function. September 2019 Eastern Cape Graphs and Function question paper. Okay, so that is question number 4, 5, and 6. So let's start question number 4. Given f of x is equal to, it is written like this: 1 plus 2 divided by x plus 3. It is written like this f of x is 1 plus 2 divided by x plus 3. That is the same as normally we are writing this one first, this one second. So it's the same thing. Okay, so let me write it in order. 2 divided by x plus 3 plus 1. So we know the standard form f of x is equal to a divided by x plus p plus q. Now this one is in this order. Okay, so they just swap it around, that's all. Okay, now that is the given one. Now what is the first question? 4.1. Question number 4.1. Write down the equation of the asymptote of f. So question number 4.1 is write down the equation of the asymptotes of f. So when you write the equation like this, f of x general equation, a divided by x plus p plus q. What are the equations of the asymptote? X is equal to the opposite sign of this one. So here it is plus p, then here it is minus p. Okay, then y is equal to this number as it is, q. So only difference is, if here it is plus number, a positive number, here you have to write negative, x is equal to negative. If here it is negative, then here you have to write a positive. That's the only difference. Okay, so here the number is 3. So what is the asymptote? Equation of the asymptote, x is equal to minus 3, and this number as it is, that is y is equal to 1. So the equation of the asymptotes are x is equal to minus 3 and y is equal to 1. That's all. Okay, now let's move to the next question. Question number 4.2. What is question number 4.2? Calculate the x and y intercept of f. You have to find the x intercept and the y intercept. So how can you find x intercept and y intercept? You know that at x intercept, what is the value of y? At x intercept, you know the value is what? It's a 0. Okay, so at x intercept, value of y is equal to 0. So in this equation, this f of x is the same as y. So y is equal to 2 divided by x plus 3 plus 1. So in that equation, you have to substitute the value of y as a 0. Okay, so let's substitute the value of y as 0 in that equation. So y is equal to, that means 0 is equal to 2 divided by x plus 3 plus 1. Okay, now we have to simplify this one. Take this positive one to the other side. So it is, on this side it is negative 1 is equal to 2 divided by x plus 3. Now what you have to do? You have to cross multiply this one. Okay, so here this one is minus 1 into x plus 3 is equal to 2. What is the next step? Expand the bracket. So minus 1 you have to multiply with x. This minus 1 you have to multiply with 3. Okay, minus 1 into x, that is the same as minus x. So minus 1 into x is minus x. Now minus 1 into plus 3, minus into plus is minus. So 1 into 3 is 3. So it is minus 3 is equal to 2. Now take this minus 3 to the other side. So it is minus x is equal to 2 plus 3. So minus x is equal to 5. So minus x is 5. So what is x? X is equal to minus 5. Okay, so therefore coordinate is equal to x value is minus 5, and always you have to write x value first. Okay, and what is the y value? Y value is 0. So y value is 0. So that is the x intercept. Now x-intercept we found. The question is to find the x-intercept and y-intercept. So now do you know what we are going to find? Y-intercept. Okay, so at y-intercept, value of x is equal to 0. Now you have to substitute the value of x as 0. Okay, so write the equation once more. What is the equation? Y is equal to 2 divided by x plus 3 plus 1. So here you have to substitute the value of x as 0. So y is equal to 2 divided by 0 plus 3 plus 1. Okay, 0 plus 3 is 3. Okay, so y is equal to 2 over 3 plus 1. What is this 2 over 3? 2 over 3, what is this 2 over 3 plus 1? Check in your calculator. Okay, 3 into 1, 3, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 over 3. Okay, so 5 over 3 means 1.6. Yeah, I think you can check in your calculator. So y is equal to 5 over 3. So now you have to write the coordinates. Therefore coordinate is equal to x value, always x value first, then y value. What is, check in your calculator, what is this 5 over 3? 1.322666 something. Okay, so 0.1.6. so that is the y-intercept. Okay, so let me write, before I erase this one and move to the next question, let me write all those things what we got. What are the asymptotes? We got asymptotes. X is equal to minus 3, y is equal to 1. Then x-intercept, what is the x-intercept we got? X-intercept, where is the coordinate? Minus 5 comma 0, minus 5 comma 0, and y-intercept 0 comma 1.6. so those are the values that we got from 4.1 and 4.2. okay, now let's move to the next question number 4.3. Move to the next question number 4.3. Question number 4.3. What is that question? Draw a neat sketch of f clearly indicating all intersect with the axis and any asymptotes. So now you have to, you know that this is a hyperbolic function. Why it is hyperbolic? Because the denominator x is, the variable is in the denominator. So if the variable x is in the denominator, that is a hyperbolic function. What is the shape of the hyperbolic function? Either like this, okay, or it can be like this also. Okay, so that is the shape of the hyperbolic. Now we have to draw that hyperbolic function. Okay, clearly indicating all the intercepts and everything. Okay, so this is the x and y axis. First, what you are supposed to draw? You have to draw the asymptotes. Okay, so what are the asymptotes? X is equal to minus 3. So minus the x minus 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, assume that this is x is equal to minus 3. This is minus 3. Okay, now second asymptote is y is equal to positive 1. Y is equal to 1 is somewhere here. Okay, so y is equal to 1. This is 1. Okay, this is minus 3. So we already draw two asymptotes. Okay, then x-intercept minus 5 comma 0. Wow, it is minus 5. Minus 5 means it's before this one. Okay, so this is only minus 3. So we have to extend this one a little bit and assume that this is minus 5. Okay, so this point is minus 5. This is the x-axis. Okay, minus 5 comma 0, and the other one is 0 comma 1.6. so 0.1.6. this is 1. Asymptote is 1. So 1, this is assume that this is 2. So 1.6 is somewhere here. Okay, that is 1.0 comma 1.6. 0 comma 1.6, and this one is this is minus 5 comma 0. Okay, now you have to draw that graph. So here okay, this is, let me extend this asymptote here. Now you have to draw based on the asymptote. Okay, so this is the asymptote, this is the asymptote, and here this is the y-intercept. So you have to draw like passing through that point based on these two asymptotes. Okay, don't touch the asymptote when you draw the graph. If you touch the asymptote, then it's wrong. Okay, the graph can't touch the asymptote. What is the meaning of asymptote? On that value of asymptote there is no graph. Okay, so this is question number 4.3 to sketch the graph. So first you have to draw the asymptotes, then you have to mark the x-intercept and y-intercept. This is the x-intercept and this one is the y-intercept 1.6. Okay, so that is question number 4.3. Now let's move to the next question, 4.4. Question number 4.4. What is question number 4.4, guys? Given that H is a reflection of F in the x-axis, okay, determine the equation of the axis or symmetry of H having positive gradient. Wow, 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 wow. What is the meaning of that question? H, they are saying that there is another equation called H of x. What is that? There is another equation called, okay, first let me write this f of x. You know that f of x is the same as y. Y is equal to 2 divided by x plus 3 plus 1. That is h of x. Okay, now that is f of x. Now they are saying that there is another equation called h of x. Okay, there is another equation called h of x. And what is that h of x? H of x is the reflection of this f of x based on x-axis. So reflection of x, reflection of f based on the x-axis. This graph reflected based on the x-axis. So in small classes you studied, in grade 11 you studied if a graph reflected based on x-axis, what you are supposed to do? If a graph is reflected based on x-axis, you have to change the sign of y. If positive y, you have to change to negative y. This is what you have to do. Okay, if the reflection is based on the x-axis, you have to change the sign of y, and the new graph they called it as what? H of x. Okay, so what is our h of x? Now h of x, now okay, before I write a h of x, what is this? What is this one? This y is our f of x. I wrote it as y. Okay, now for the reflection based on the x-axis, you are supposed to change the positive y to negative, or change the sign of y. Okay, so look at how I am going to write this y. I am going to write it as minus y, and they call it that one as h of x. Okay, so h of x minus y is equal to, don't change anything else now, x plus 3 plus 1. Okay, now here you can't leave the answer like this, minus y. That is not a standard form. Okay, here you are supposed to write positive. So what you have to do? Throughout to multiply with a negative. That means negative into negative is positive. Both sides, left side and right side, I am going to multiply with a negative. So negative into negative is positive, is equal to negative into positive, negative 2 divided by x plus 3, then negative into positive is negative 1. So now this equation is our h of x. Okay, we got a new equation, y is equal to minus 2 divided by x plus 3 minus 1, and that is our h of x. Do you understand? Okay. So what is h of x? Reflection based on the x-axis. Reflection of what? Reflection of this f of x. So f h of x is the reflection based on the based on the x-axis. Okay. So if a reflection based on the x-axis, you have to change the sign of y to negative y. So here this is y, f of x. So I change this positive y to negative y. Okay. Then don't change anything here. Okay. Then after that, what you have to do? You can't leave. This is our h of x. Okay, because I changed the sign of y to negative y. But you can't leave the answer like this. You have to write, you are supposed to write positive y is equal to. So how can I write positive y? I multiply it throughout with a negative. So negative into negative, positive. Negative into 2, negative 2. Negative into plus 1, negative 1. And this is our h of x graph. Did you understand up to there? Okay. Now, what is the before I go to the next step, try to understand like this. What is the question? Determine the equation of the axis of symmetry of H having a positive gradient. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of axis of symmetry? Let me try to draw a graph here. I'm just giving an example. Okay. So this is not connected with this one. Okay. So let me try to draw a graph like this. This is another example, not this one. This assume that these are the two asymptotes. This is let's say this is 2 and this one is 1. Okay. So what is the coordinate of this point? What is the coordinate of that point? Vertical asymptote is 2 and horizontal asymptote is 1. That means this point is, what is that one? That is x2 and y1. Am I right? Okay, that point is x value 2 and y value 1. Okay, and now for a hyperbolic function like this, okay, there are two axes of symmetries. There are two axes of symmetry. One axis of symmetry is this one. One axis of symmetry is this one. Okay, and here you can see there is a straight line and it is decreasing. So this line is known as axis of symmetry. When the straight line is decreasing, the gradient is negative. Okay, so this line is known as the axis of symmetry having negative gradient, and there is an equation for this line, general equation, minus x plus c. That is the equation, general equation for this axis of symmetry. This is the axis of symmetry having negative gradient, and there is another axis of symmetry like this, and that line you can see that it is increasing. So that line is known as axis of symmetry having positive gradient. So the general equation you can write it like this: y is equal to positive x plus c. You understand? So for a hyperbolic function, there are two axes of symmetry. One is axis of symmetry having negative gradient and the other one is axis of symmetry having positive gradient. This is minus x plus c, negative gradient. This is positive x plus c. And in this, both these axes of symmetry, you can see that it is passing through the intersecting point of the asymptotes. Am I right? This axis of symmetry and this axis of symmetry, it is passing through the intersecting point of the asymptotes. Am I right? Okay, that means at this point, what is the coordinate? 2, 1. Okay, so now come back to our question. You have to understand that one up to there. Okay, now look at this, our h of x. This is our h of x. Don't forget that this is our h of x. Y is equal to minus 2, that one. Okay, so look at this h of x. Here, what are the asymptotes? What are the coordinates of the asymptotes? You know, here it is plus 3. So 1, this one is going to be, the whole vertical asymptote is going to be here. Since here it is plus 3, the vertical asymptote is going to be minus 3. remember that one. Okay, here it is plus 3, so the vertical asymptote is minus 3. Don't compare with this one, I just gave another example. Okay, not connected with this one. Okay, so don't be confused. Then this one is minus 1 as it is, so it means that the on this h of x, this is our h of x. Okay, this h of x graph, in this h of x graph, the axis, the asymptotes passing through the point minus 3 comma minus 1. Asymptote, I'm talking about asymptote, this dotted line. Okay, I'm talking about, in this example, this is the point. Okay, intersecting point. Okay, so in this example, in this h of x, what is the point of intersection of the asymptotes? Minus 3 comma minus 1. Okay, so it means that the line of symmetry of this h of x is passing through this minus 3 comma minus 1. Do you understand? The line of symmetry of this h of x passing through the point minus 3 minus 1. Like what is in this example? The line of symmetry of this hyperbolic function passing through this point. Am I right? 2 comma 1. Similarly, in this h of x, the line of symmetry passing through the point minus 3 comma minus 1. That is the intersecting point of both the asymptotes. Always line of symmetry passing through the intersecting point of the asymptotes. So here, what is the intersecting point of the asymptote? Minus 3, this is plus 3, so you have to write minus 3. Okay, there is no change here, so it is minus 1. So that is the intersecting point of the asymptotes and the line of symmetry passing through that intersecting point. Okay, now what is our question? Let me erase this one now. So this is the y is equal to negative gradient, y is equal to minus x plus c, positive gradient, y is equal to positive x plus c. Okay, so don't forget that one, that two general equations of the line of symmetry. Now what is our question? Look at our question. Determine the equation of the axis of symmetry of h having positive gradient. So now we have to find the equation of the axis of symmetry having positive gradient. So we already wrote a general equation for the positive gradient. Y is equal to x plus c. Am I right? Okay. So here we know that positive gradient passing through this point minus 3 minus 1. Okay, so we can substitute the x value as minus 3 and y value as minus 1. So y is minus 1 is equal to x minus 3 plus c. So take this minus 3 to this side, so it is minus 1 plus 3 is equal to c. What is minus 1 plus 3? It is 2. So 2 is equal to c, or c is equal to 2. So therefore, what is the equation of the axis of symmetry having positive gradient? Y is equal to x plus c. This is the general equation. This is the general equation. So y is equal to x plus c. What is c value? We got 2. So x plus 2, and that is the equation of the line of symmetry having positive gradient. Okay, that is question number 4.4. Now let's move to next question, question number 5. Okay, let's move to the next question, question number 5. Question number 5. What is that question? The diagram below shows the graph of f of x is equal to, there is a graph equation given like this: x square minus 7x minus 8, and there is another equation given like this: g of x is equal to mx plus c. So there are two equations given. One is f of x is equal to x square. X square means, what type of equation is that? It's a quadratic equation or a parabola. Okay, and g of x is equal to mx plus c. You know that one is a straight line. Okay, so there are two equations given. One is f of x and the second one is g of x. Okay, now what is the question? P and R are the x-intercepts of f and v. Okay, first let me draw that diagram here, the diagram given there in the question. Okay, so this is the given diagram. Now based on this diagram you have to answer the remaining questions. Okay, so here you can see that f of x is a parabola and g of x is a straight line. It is intersecting at the point t 9 comma 10. Okay, and v is the x-intercept. This is the x-axis and this one is the y-axis. So v is the x-intercept of the straight line and p and r are the x-intercept of the parabola. These points are the x-intercept of the parabola and s is the turning point. Okay, and q is the y-intercept of both the graphs. Q is the y-intercept of both the f of x and g of x. Okay, now 5.1, question number 5.1. What is that question? Determine the equation, write down the coordinates of q. You have to write the coordinates of q. So here, how can you find the coordinate of q? This is the point q, and you know that q is the y-intercept. So the equation of f of x is given. So let me write that equation as y. Y is equal to x squared minus 7x minus 8. Okay, so q is the y-intercept of f of x also. Okay, so at y-intercept, what do you know? At y-intercept the value of x is 0. Okay, so you have to write at y-intercept the value of x is equal to 0. So substitute the value of x as 0 in that equation. Y is equal to 0 square minus 7 into 0 minus 8. So 0 0 minus 8, that means y is equal to minus 8. So what is the coordinate? Therefore coordinate q is x value is 0 and y value is minus 8. So here this coordinate of this point is 0 comma minus 8. Okay, that is question number 5.1. Now let's move to the next question, question number 5.2. Question number 5.2. What is that question? Determine the equation of g. What is g? G of x is mx plus c. Okay, so you have to write the equation of g. So now let me write that equation here. G of x is equal to mx plus c. And can you say what is that c? What is this c? C stands for the y-intercept. So here in this g of x graph, what is y-intercept? The same q. Excuse me. Same q is the y-intercept. What is at q? What is the y value? We already got it as minus 8. So it means that the value of c is minus 8, y-intercept. So the g of x is the same as y. Y is equal to mx plus minus 8 because the value of c is minus 8, y-intercept. Now you have to find the value of m. Okay, so how can you find the value of m, guys? Just substitute any point, doesn't matter. So let me substitute the same point 0 comma minus 8 to make it, or there is another point here 9 comma 10. You can substitute that point also. Okay, so let me substitute this point minus 8. That point is also a point on that g of x. Okay, that is why I can substitute here. Minus 8 is equal to m. Oh, okay, we can't substitute here because we have to find m, but if I substitute x as a 0, this is going to be 0 minus 8, then we can't find m. Okay, so it is not possible to substitute that 0 comma minus 8. So we have to substitute that point t 9 comma 10. Okay, so substitute 9 comma 10 because that 9 comma 10 is also a point on that g of x. Okay, so after when we substitute that one, y is equal to, that is x, y is 10, so 10 is equal to m into x. X is 9 minus 8. I substitute the x and y value. Okay, this is the x value and this is the y value. So y is equal to 10 is equal to m into x. X is 9. Okay, take this minus 8 to this side. So 10 plus minus 8 on this side, it is 8, positive 8. So 10 plus 8 is 18 is equal to m into 9, that is 9m. So what is m? Therefore m is 18 divided by 9, or both sides divided by 9, the small class method. Okay, so 18 divided by 9, that is 2. So now tell me what is the value of g of, what is the equation of g of x? M value is 2. So now y is equal to mx minus 8. That means 2x minus 8. So equation of g of x is g of x is equal to 2x minus 8. So this graph is 2x minus 8. G of x is equal to, okay, g of x is equal to 2x minus 8. That is the equation of that graph. Okay, that is question number 5.2. Now let's move to the next question, 5.4. Okay, let's move to the next question, question number 5.3. 5.3, what is that question? Write down the equation of f in the form of y is equal to a into x plus p the whole square plus q. You have, this is f of x, okay, and the question is you have to write in the form of f of x is equal to a into x plus p the whole square plus q, like this. Okay, so do you remember that method? In grade 11 you studied completing the square. Okay, so let me write the equation once more. Y, f of x is the same as y is equal to x square minus 7x minus 8. So to write it like this, what you are supposed to do first, what is the coefficient of x? It is 7. Okay, so half the coefficient of x, is 7 or minus 7, doesn't matter. Okay, so minus 7, half the coefficient, that means minus 7 over 2, then square that number. So here minus 7 square is 49, 2 square is 4, so it is 49 over 4. Okay, listen once more, check what is the coefficient of x. Minus 7, half the coefficient, minus 7 divided by 2, square that one. So minus 7 square is 49, 2 square is 4, so 49 over 4. Now what you have to do is you have to split the middle term, not split it, sorry, you have to write it like this, x square minus 7x, you have to write the first two terms. Okay, then what you are going to do is, look at what I am going to do here. The answer is 49 over 4, so plus that 49 over 4 minus that 49 over 4. Okay, so 49 over 4 minus 49 over 4 is 0. I didn't make any change. Okay, and there is a minus 8, don't forget that minus 8. Okay, so can you see that the middle I included another two terms. Okay, sorry, in the middle, can you see that I added and subtracted the same quantity, so it won't make any difference in the equation. Okay, because you know that this one minus this one is a 0, so actually there is no difference. Okay, so I added and subtracted the same number here. Okay, now what is the first three terms? These three terms, that is a perfect square expansion. Okay, so the first three terms you can write it like this. This is x square, this is 49 by 4. Okay, so it is, here it is minus, so you are supposed to write like this, x minus 49 by 4 is 7 over 2, this one. Okay, minus 7 over 2 the whole square. So if you expand this one, you will get these three terms. Do you understand? Okay, so if you expand this x minus 7 over 2, you will get these three terms. Then you have to check in your calculator what is the answer of these two terms. Okay, check in your calculator in fraction form. Okay, so let me check in my calculator. Minus minus 49 divided by 4 minus 8, minus 8, so it is minus 81 over 4, so that one is minus 81 over 4. Okay, so is it not like now this one is it not like this, a is here, it is 1, Am I right? 1 into x plus p. P is minus 7 over 2 plus q. Q is minus 81 over 4. Okay, so now we converted that into this form, a into x plus p. So it's very easy. Once if you have an equation like this, quadratic equation like this, okay, now you have to split that middle term. I mean, not split it. You have to check what is the coefficient of x. Coefficient of x is minus half the coefficient, minus 7 over 2. Okay, square that one, so it is 49 over 4. You have to add and subtract that one. Minus 8 is this one, minus 8. Okay, now combine the first three terms, that is x minus 7 over 2 square. Check what is the answer, this one, minus 8. Then you done. We converted that into this form. Okay, now maybe some of you have a doubt this one. Okay, how can you write this one? Try to understand the method like this. Okay, so for example, x square minus or x square plus x squared plus 6 over 4x plus 9 over 16. X square plus 6 over 4, yeah, you know that 6 over 4 is 3 over 2. Okay, I didn't simplify that one. Okay, anyway, x square plus 6 over 4 plus 9 over 6. So how can you write this one like this? So what you have to do, you have to check it like this. X, here it is x square, x, you have to check this symbol. Here it was minus, that is why here I wrote minus. Okay, so here it is plus, so I am supposed to write plus. Okay, then 9 over 6 is, what is that one? 3 over 4, then the whole square. Okay, you can write it like that. Okay, so if you expand this one, the FOIL method or a plus b the whole square method. Okay, so whatever method, okay, the method that you studied in small class, x plus 3 over 4 into x plus 3 over 4. Okay, then try to expand one by one. At last you will get this answer. Okay, so you can write this one like this. Okay, so that is what here I did. The first three terms, that is this one, then this next two terms, that is this one. Okay, so that is 5.3. now let's move to next question, 5.4. Question number 5.4. 5.4. What is that question? Question number 5.4. Hence or otherwise. Hence or otherwise means we can use this answer. Okay, so otherwise, determine the coordinate of S, the turning point of F. So you have to find the coordinate of this turning point S. So how can you find the turning point, guys? Coordinate of the turning point. It's a very simple question. How many marks for that question? Maybe 2 marks. Yeah, 2 marks. So how can you find the turning point, guys? Now if you write an equation like this, f of x is equal to a into x minus p the whole square plus q. Once if you get a quadratic equation like this, then it's easy to write the turning point. What is the turning point? Here it is minus p, so you are supposed to write positive p. If here it is positive number, here you are supposed to write negative number. That's all. Then no change for this q. So the turning point is p comma q. Okay, so here minus 7 over 2. So what is the turning point? Turning point S is here, since here it is minus 7 over 2, here turning point is positive 7 over 2, comma this number as it is minus 81 by 4, and that is the turning point. That means the coordinate of S is 7 over 2 comma minus 81 over 4. That is the answer. Okay, so guys, here is there any other method to hence or otherwise? Maybe there is another method to find the coordinate. How can you find that one? How can you find the coordinate of that in any another method? So what you have to do is here what is this point P and R? that are the x-intercepts. Am I right? Okay, so first I'm going to find what are the x values at these points P and R. Okay, x-intercept means y value is 0. Okay, so at x-intercept, this is the answer. We done. Okay, I'm just showing you another method. Okay, at x-intercept y is equal to 0. So we have to, I'm going to substitute the value of y as 0. This is our equation. Okay, so y is equal to 0, or why should I write that? This one I can, this equation is the same as this equation. Okay, so I can write that one once more here. Y is equal to x minus 7 over 2 the whole square minus 81 over 4. Okay, now at x-intercept y is 0, so I'm going to substitute the value of y as 0. So 0 is equal to x minus 7 over 2 the whole square minus 81 over 4. I substitute the value of y as 0 because I'm trying to find the x-intercepts. X-intercept, the value of y is 0. So now take this minus 81 by 4 to this side, so it is positive 81. Am I right? Okay, so positive 81 over 4 is equal to this one, or x minus 7 over 2 the whole square is equal to positive 81 over 4. Okay, now we have to find the value of this x, okay, or values of x. Okay, so what you have to do for that? Okay, so for that I'm going to take a square root on both the sides. Okay, so it is square root of x minus 7 the whole squared is x minus 7 over 2. Okay, so it is x minus, therefore x minus 7 over 2 is equal to square root of 81 by 4. You have to write both the answers, plus or minus. Okay, so plus or minus 81 square root is 9 over 4 square root is 2. Okay, so now check in your calculator. So either plus 9 over 2 or minus 9 over, this is 9. Sorry, that one is 9, guys. This is 9 over 2. Plus or minus 9 over 2. Okay, so you have to take both the answers. So it is x minus 7 over 2 is equal to positive 9 over 2, or x minus 7 over 2 is equal to negative 9 over 2. Okay, so from here what is x? Take this one to the other side, so it is 9 over 2 plus 7 over 2. So check in your calculator, what is answer? 2 9 plus 7, you can check in your calculator. Okay, 16 by 2 8. So x is equal to 8. Here what is answer? X is equal to minus 9 over 2. Take this one to the other side, so plus 7 over 2. Okay, so what is answer? 2 minus 2 minus 1. Okay, so x is equal to minus 1. So which one is for P? P x minus 1. Am I right? This is minus 1. And here for R, x is 8. Okay, now we are trying to find the turning point. Okay, coordinates of the turning point. Okay, so now you know, through the turning point the axis of symmetry is passing. Am I right? Through the turning point the axis of symmetry is passing. This is the turning point, and the axis of symmetry is passing through this turning point. This is the axis of symmetry. Okay, so axis of symmetry is passing through the turning point, and this axis of symmetry means what? Even though it doesn't looks like that, axis of symmetry is this distance and this distance are the same. That is the meaning of axis. So it doesn't looks like that, but it's supposed to be like that. Okay, so axis of symmetry means that this distance from this point P to this one, and distance from this, I'm talking about the axis of symmetry, from the axis of symmetry to the another point R are equal. P to axis of symmetry and axis of symmetry to R are equal, or this point is the midpoint of this one. Okay, so how can you find the midpoint of this minus 1 and 8? that is minus 1 plus 8 divided by 2. Minus 1 plus 8 is 7. 7 over 2. So it means that at this point it is 7 over 2. Okay, so it means that this is the axisymmetry point. That means S, the x value is 7 over 2. Can you see that we already got that 7 over 2? Okay, so then you have to substitute that x value in the original equation, then you will get the y value, you will get this answer. You can try at home. Okay, so this minus 81 over 4 there you will get. Okay, yeah, I just showed you another method. Otherwise straightforward, you can find the answer. It's only 2 marks. Okay, what is answer? 7 over 2 minus 81, the first method I explained. Okay, once if you can write the equation like that. Okay, so that is question number what? Question number 5.3. now 5.4. okay, now let's move to question number 5.5. Question number 5.5. Question number 5.5. Determine the coordinates of a point W on F such that the average gradient between T and W is 1. What is the meaning of that? There is a point W somewhere on the graph. Okay, and the average, they are saying that the average gradient between T and that point W, we don't know where is that point. Okay, maybe it is here, maybe it is here, or maybe it is here, maybe it is here, or maybe the same point as P. Okay, it can be like that also, and we can call the same point as P as W also. Okay, because that is also a point on that graph. Okay, or it is here, or it is here, or it is here, or it is here. Okay, anyway, somewhere here on the graph there is a point W. Okay, and they are saying that you have to find the average gradient between T and this is T, and the average gradient between T and W. Okay, what is the coordinate of T? 9, 10. But we don't know, not to find the average gradient. Okay, determine the coordinates of the point W. That means you have to find the coordinate of this W. Okay, so we don't know where is this W. You understand? But they are saying that W is a point on that f of x. You understand? We don't know where is this point W. Okay, but they are saying that W is somewhere here on this quadratic graph f of x. Okay, now such that the average gradient between T and W. Oh, okay, the gradient between this T and W, it is given m of TW, gradient of TW, it is given as positive 1. Yeah, then of course if you want to get the answer as positive 1, then the graph, the line is like this. Okay, it can't be like this. This is T and this one is W. It can't be like, because if it is like this, then the line it is decreasing. That means the gradient is negative. So it is somewhere here, then only we can draw like this. Okay, so now we have to find the average, we have to find the coordinate of W. That is the question. Okay, and the average gradient between these two lines is 1. That is given. Okay, so let me call this one as X and this one as Y. Okay, so my I call this W coordinates as X and Y. Okay, now what is the gradient formula? I'm trying to find the gradient between that T and W now. Okay, so what is the gradient? We know the gradient formula, m of T W is equal to y2 minus y1. So let's say this is x1, y1, x2, y2. y2 minus y1, that is y minus 10 divided by x2 minus x1, x minus 9. X minus 9. And it is given in the question that the average gradient is 1, positive 1. So it means that this one is 1. Okay, is equal to y minus 10 over x minus 9. Okay, so cross multiply this one. 1 times x minus 9. 1 times x minus 9 is x minus 9. So it is x minus 9 is equal to y minus 10. Take this minus 10 to this side. So it is x minus 9 minus 10 on this side is plus 10 is equal to y. So y is equal to x minus 9 plus 10 is 1. So it is x plus 1. So it means that the equation of that line TW is y is equal to x plus 1. We got an equation y is equal to x plus 1. But still, what is our question? We have to find the coordinate of x and y. I mean coordinate of w, that is x and y. We have to find the value of x and y. Okay. Now okay, now that w, now try to understand like this. So this is the equation, we got an equation. Okay, now we know that that w is a point on that f of x graph. This w is somewhere here, am I right? W is somewhere hiding here. So at that point w, what is the equation of tw? W is somewhere here and TW is passing like this. Okay, so at this point W, this is our f of x. Okay, so you have to understand, it's a tricky question. You have to understand this is our f of x. Okay, so at this point W, what is the equation of this straight line, this tangent? I mean not tangent, the straight line. So y is equal to x plus 1. Okay, so at this point W is a point on this f of x also. Am I right? This point W is a point on this line, and also that point W is a point on this f of x also. So it means that at that particular point W, this x plus 1 and the equation of f of x are equal, because that is an intersecting point. Am I right? Okay, so first you have to write up to here. Okay, I'm going to erase that one. So look at how I'm going to write. At W, at the point W, at W, okay, what is the equation of the straight line? We got x plus 1. X plus 1 is equal to, what is the equation of the equation of f of x? F of x is x square minus 7x minus 8. So x square minus 7x minus 8 at this point W, because it is given that W is a point on that f of x. Okay, so now we have to simplify this one, take everything to the left side. So it is x square minus 7x, take this x to this side, so it is minus x. Already there is a minus 8, take this one to the other side, so it is minus 1, so it is 0 here. So what is this one? X square minus 7x minus 7 minus 1 is minus 8x, minus 8 minus 1 is minus 9 is equal to 0. Factorize this one. So what are the factors, guys? Here x minus 9 we want minus 8 sum, so minus 9 plus 1. Am I right? Okay, those who doesn't know this one, you have to check the algebra section. Okay, so minus 9 into 1 is minus 9, minus 9 plus 1 is minus 8, so it's fine. So what are the x values? X is equal to 9 or x is equal to minus 1. So x is equal to 9, look at this one, x is equal to 9 and x is equal to minus 1. X is equal to 9 is the point T, look at this, T is 9. So what is the correct, we can't take the same point T because W is another point. Am I right? Okay, so what is the correct value? X is equal to minus 1. So x is equal to, it implies x is equal to minus 1, because this x is equal to 9 is the point T. Am I right? T, x is 9. So the other point is x is equal to minus 1. So how can you find the y value? Therefore y is equal to, we got the equation like this, x plus 1. So y is equal to minus x plus 1, that is y is equal to 0. So it means that therefore the w is x minus 1 and y 0. So it means that what they are, where is this w? W is the same point as P. Am I right? That is minus 1 comma 0. Okay, so the coordinate of w is minus 1 comma 0. Okay, So that is question number 5.5. Now let's move to the next question, 5.6. Okay, let's move to the next question, question number 5.6. What is that question? Determine the values of x. You have to find the values of x. Okay, where f of x into g of x is less than 0. F of x into g of x is less than 0. Okay, so you have to find the values of x where f of x times g of x is less than 0. So when we multiply two functions and the answer is less than 0, so it means that either less than 0 means negative. Okay, so if you want to get a negative answer, so either the first one is positive and the second one is negative. Positive times negative is negative, or first one is negative and the second one is positive, then also the answer is negative. Okay, so positive negative we will get negative, or negative positive we will get negative. Okay, if both are positive then we won't get positive. Positive times positive is positive. We want negative answer. Am I right? Less than 0 means what? It's a negative. Okay, so we want the negative answer. We want negative answer, less than 0. Okay, so it means when can we say that a graph is positive and a graph is negative? A graph is positive when it is above x-axis. So here you can see that this one from here, this is the x-axis. Okay, here graph is positive because above x-axis. So here it is positive. Am I right? Okay, f of x is positive, and from this point to this point you can see that it is below x-axis. That means negative, 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 negative. Okay, here again you can see that above x-axis, I'm talking about f of x parabola. Okay, so here it is positive, 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 positive. Okay, now what about g of x? It is from this point to this side, it is below x-axis. So here negative, 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 negative. Am I right? From this point to that side it is above x-axis, so it is going to be positive, 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 like that. Okay, so now when we multiply this one, so look at this point -1. Okay, so let me draw a big line there. Let me draw a big line there. Okay, so before that -1, before this point -1, if you multiply that two function, here what is a sign? Negative. So negative times positive is negative. That is what we want. Before which x value? Before x -1. Okay, x before x -1 means when x is less than, this side it is negative, less than. Okay, so when x is less than -1, one is positive and the other one is negative. But after that, after this -1, can you see that this is negative and this one is also negative? Both are below x-axis, so we can't take that one. So after 0, what is happening? Same thing. Am I right? Negative, negative, negative times negative is positive. We can't take. Here also look at this one. After this point, okay, that point is, I think, V. So okay, it is given in the question that this point is V. Okay, and we can see that we didn't find that point yet. Okay, so we have to find that point. Actually, what is that point V? Okay, before I go to that one, what is the coordinate of V? How can you find the x value of V? V is the x-intercept of this g of x graph. Am I right? This point V is the x-intercept of this g of x graph. Okay, so let me write g of x here. So one answer is this one. This is one answer. Okay, then g of x is equal to, what is the equation of g of x? First question, 2x minus, first somewhere there we already find that one, 2x minus 8. So y is equal to 2x minus 8. We have to find the x-intercept. So at x-intercept value of y is equal to 0. So substitute here, 0 is equal to 2x minus 8. Take this minus 8 to this side. So positive 8 is equal to 2x. So x is equal to 8 over 2, that is 4. So it means that here the value of x is 4. Okay, at this point the value of x is 4. That is a x-intercept of g of x. That is why I try to find the x-intercept. Okay, so here I got the value of x as 4. Okay, now let's come back to our question. Now look at this one. After this 4, let me draw a big line through 4. Okay, so here after this 4, what is happening? One is negative and the other one is positive. Can you see that? Up to which one? Up to this 8. So between this 4 and 8, one graph is negative and the other graph is positive. Between which x values? Between 4 and at this point it is 8. Okay, so between 4 and 8, one graph is negative and the other graph is positive. Okay, so the second answer is, first answer is this one. This is the first answer, x is less than minus 1. Okay, and the second answer is 4 less than x less than 8. Between 4 and 8, one graph is negative and the other graph is positive. One graph is below x-axis and the other graph is above x-axis. But after 8, what is happening? After this point 8, this side, what is happening? This graph is positive and this graph is also positive. Both the graphs above x-axis we can't take, because positive times positive is positive. We want negative. Okay, so we want one graph below x-axis and one graph above x-axis. So only two possibilities. Either x is less than minus 1 or x must be between 4 and 8. Okay, so that is question number 5.6. Now let's move to the next question, question number 6. Okay, question number 6. Given f of x, question number 6. Given f of x is equal to log x to the base m. So there is a function given like this, log x to the base m. So it's a logarithmic function. Okay, now that's all given. Okay, now what is the first question? 6.1. Determine the value of m if the point 64,3 lies on f. You have to find the value of m if 64,3 lies on f. So what you have to do here? First we know that this f of x is the same as y. So y is equal to log x to the base m. Okay. Now how can we write this one in exponential form? You know, when you study logarithmic rule, you studied that one. Okay, so those who doesn't know how to write in exponential form, you have to watch that video lessons where I explain all these things. Okay, so how can I write this one in exponential form? M raised to y. Okay, so m raised to y, this base raised to this number, m raised to y is equal to this x. This is how you want to write this same. This is the same as this one. Okay, so m raised to y is equal to x. Okay, now they are saying that there is a point 64,3 lies on this f of x. So they are saying that at 64,3, they are saying that 64,3 lies on that point, lies on this f of x. So what we can do? We can substitute the value of y as 3 and x as 64. So m raised to y is 3 is equal to x is 64. Okay, so m raised to 3 is equal to 64. How can you write? 4 raised to 3. 4 raised to 3 is 64. So here you can see that the exponents are the same. So what is the meaning of that? The bases are also same. So it means that the value of m is equal to 4. So now what is f of x? Therefore, f of x is equal to log x to the base 4. Do you understand? Okay. So we have to find the value of m. So the value of m is 4. Okay. So that is question number 6.1. Now let's move to the next question, 6.2. Determine the equation of f inverse in the form of y is equal to. So this is f of x. So let's write once more, no problem. Okay. This is f of x. F of x is the same as y. Y is equal to log x to the base 4. Now we know that the value of m is 4. Okay. So y is equal to log x to the base 4. So from here, how can we write this one in exponential form? 4 raised to y is equal to x. Am I right? This one raised to y is equal to x. Okay, like what I said here, same thing. Here I got the value of m as 4. That's the only difference, because here we already got the value of m as 4. So 4 raised to y is equal to x. Okay. Now to find f inverse, what we are supposed to do? We have to swap x and y. Am I right? So look at how I am going to write 4 raised to y, 4 raised to x. I swap x and y. Okay, is equal to x becomes y. So it means that f inverse of x equation is, this is f inverse of y. Okay, 4 raised to x, or y is equal to 4 raised to x. Okay, and that is the equation of f inverse of x. Y is the same as f inverse of x. Okay, or just to avoid confusion. Okay, actually f inverse, or this is f inverse of x. Okay, what is that one? Y is equal to 4 raised to x. So let's call this y is the function. Okay, so now what is that? Y is f inverse. So f inverse of x is equal to 4 raised to x. Question is to find the equation of f inverse. That's why I just wrote it as f inverse. So otherwise it is fine like this, y is equal to 4 raised to x. That's the answer. Okay. So that is question number 6.2. Now let's move to the next question, question number 6.3. Okay. Question number 6.3. What is that question? Draw a neat sketch of f inverse. Show all intercept with the axis. Indicate at least one other point. So you have to draw f inverse. Okay. So here this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis, and this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. Okay. So what is f inverse? F inverse is y is equal to 4 raised to x. This is our f inverse graph. Okay. So in that graph, what about the y-intercept? Here this is the graph that we are supposed to draw. Okay. So what about the y-intercept? At y-intercept, you know that x is equal to 0. So here if I substitute x as 0, y is equal to 4 raised to 0. That is, any number raised to 0 is 1. Okay. So what is the coordinate? X is 0, y 1. So it is passing through 0, 1. X is 0, y 1. Okay. Now we have to know at least one more point. Okay, because now we have a doubt that is it like this or like this. Okay. Now look at the question paper. Question number 6.1. What is 6.1? They are saying that on f graph, on f of x, okay, on this f of x, there is a point 64, 3. F of x is passing, this f of x graph is passing through the point 64, 3. So what about f inverse of x? Yeah, you know, when you want to find f inverse, you are supposed to swap x and y. So it means that f inverse of x, now we know that it is passing through the point 3, 64. You have to swap that one. It is given in the question 6.1. It is given that this f of x graph is passing through the point 64, 3. Am I right? Okay. So what about f inverse of x? It will pass through 3, 64. You swap x and y. Okay. So 3, 64. This is 0, 1. This is 1. Okay. 3 comma 6, 3 is very close, and 1 2 3. Okay, 3 comma 64, 64 is somewhere there on top. Okay, and this is 3 comma 64. So it means that this is our graph f inverse of x. Okay, so that is question number 6.3. Now let's move to question number 6.4. Question number 6.4. Question number 6.4. What is that question? Write down the range of h. So there is another function h of x, and what is that h of x? F inverse of x minus 2. So there is another function h, and what is that h of x? F inverse of x minus 2. Okay, and what is the equation of this f inverse of x? Previous question, look at the previous question. F inverse of x 6.2, we got 4 raised to x. Am I right? Okay, so actually this h of x is equal to 4 raised to x minus 2, because f inverse of x we got in question number 6.2 as 4 raised to x. So it is 4 raised to x minus 2. Okay, now we already draw f inverse of x graph. Do you remember that one? Something like this. Okay, this is 1 and this point is 3 comma 64. Am I right? Okay, so that is f inverse of x. Now, so this is an exponential graph. Am I right? This one is f inverse of x is an exponential graph. Okay, now here what is the general form of an exponential graph? Y is equal to a into b raised to x plus q. Am I right? Here what is the asymptote? What is the equation of the asymptote? Y is equal to q. This is the equation of the asymptote, or this value is the asymptote. Okay, so look at our equation. H of x is equal to 4 raised to x minus 2. So it means that in this is f of x, f inverse of x graph, not this h of x. Okay, so in this new h of x graph, minus 2 is an asymptote. Do you understand? Okay, so minus 2 is an asymptote in this h of x graph. So if I try to draw that graph, this is the x and y axis, there is a minus 2 here. This is y is equal to minus 2, and the graph is going to be something like this. Or we can understand like this. This f inverse of x graph shifted 2 units to the bottom. Okay, so anyway, the asymptote is y is equal to minus 2. Is it possible that this is h of x? Okay, because the asymptote is minus 2, so this is the asymptote, and that is h of x. So in this h of x graph, whatever this point, okay, I don't mind. Okay, we just want to find the range. What is the meaning of range? Possible y values. Am I right? We have to find the range of h of x. What is the meaning of range? Possible y values. So is it possible for this h of x graph cross this y is equal to minus 2? No, it must be above minus 2. Okay, so y is an element of R, but y must be greater than minus 2. Okay, so here y must be greater than minus 2. It can't be less than it can't cross this asymptote y is equal to minus 2. You understand? So y can take any real number onto that side. Okay, but it can't cross this. Okay, y is an element of R, but y must be greater than minus 2. It can't be less than minus 2. Okay, so that is the range. Okay, range of h of x. So guys, that is the end of this question paper, September 2019, Eastern Cape. So I hope you understand clearly. Thank you for watching. See you on the next lesson. Thank you.